Hello and welcome to your Toronto Zoo's Boo-Mobile Tour. I'm Dolph DeYoung, your Zoo CEO. Let me start off by saying how grateful we are that you've chosen to join us for this Halloween season for this new and spooky experience right here at our zoo. Now here are your guides for this spooky adventure, Frank and Stein.
Thank you, Dolph. My name is Frank.
And I'm Stein. Welcome to Boo-Mobile.
It's very brave of you to join us today. We will be your guides as we take you around the 700 acres that make up the Toronto Zoo and shine a light on the darker, spookier sides.
Now please sit back and relax as Frank and I tell you about Halloween and its connection to the animal kingdom.
We'll even share with you some of the stories of spooky encounters that have been reported here at the Toronto Zoo over the years. For those of you unaware, a ghost is the spirit of a human or animal that has not yet crossed over to the other side. Now, I'm what you might call a bit of an expert. Ghosts can be invisible or barely visible, but some may appear to you as realistic, lifelike forms that you can't even tell apart from a person. Why, myself and Stein may very well be ghosts. Ow!
Guess you're not a ghost then, eh?
Anyway, there are a number of different kinds of ghosts, of course, such as a poltergeist, a mischievous spirit that haunts a specific place, or my personal favorite, a fetch. Now, a fetch is the projection of one's spirit that is seen miles away from where the person or animal actually is. Seeing a fetch is often an omen of bad things to come.
Many animals at the zoo could be considered a fetch, such as the Prizvolsky Horse, which is currently an endangered species. At one point in time, scientists noticed that these horses had become ghosts in the wild, and with incredible conservation efforts, like the ones here at the Toronto Zoo, their numbers are close to 2,000 individuals, with a wild herd being reintroduced back into the Gobi Desert.
We hope that when you see a fetch from the animal kingdom, you'll find a way to help keep them in the world of the living.
Along the route, you'll see our pumpkin hut. This is where our pumpkin keepers keep their tools and supplies for caring for our new special edition, the rare and beautiful giant pumpkin. Keep your eyes peeled and you may see it soon. Oh, we forgot to mention, along the route you'll go over a bridge with a 50-foot drop.
If you're scared of heights, be sure to close your eyes.
But not if you're driving. We don't need any more ghosts at the zoo.
Oh, right. Sure.
An exciting new construction project is underway here at the zoo for our new orangutan habitat. This project will not only give our orangutans more space to live, swing, and play, but will provide a much-needed research station for our wildlife science experts.
The name orangutan means people of the forest. Now, imagine for a moment that it's 200 years ago, and you're an explorer deep in the jungle, much like the one in our Indo-Malaya pavilion, when a figure appears before you. Human-like, but covered in long, reddish hair. Before you can understand what you saw, it's gone, swinging away through the trees. To help wildlife science experts learn more about these cousins of ours, who've been the source of mystery for hundreds of years, please consider buying Halloween candy that uses sustainable palm oil. Orangutans are critically endangered, and the main threat is habitat loss due to palm oil farms. Using items with sustainable palm oil is critical in saving their future. You can find a full shopping guide on the Toronto Zoo website.
And if you happen to see a Bigfoot wandering these woods, don't worry. He's not an escaped orangutan. He's what we call a non-inventory animal.
Along the route, you may encounter our newest addition to the zoo, our very own Pom King. Like all pumpkins, the Pom King is native to Central America, and while a normal one takes 90 to 120 days to grow, this pumpkin is over 200 years old. 200 years might seem like a long time, but pumpkins have been farmed in North America for over 5,000 years. Can you imagine how big the pumpkins would have been back then?
There wouldn't be enough spice in the world to make a pumpkin spice latte out of one of those bad boys.
Now, I'm sure you all like your pumpkin spice lattes, but our animals love raw, whole pumpkins this time of year.
Now, what happens to a pumpkin when we give them to our rhinos? They turn into squash. Here's a little Halloween trick for you. If you are carving a jack-o'-lantern and accidentally make a hole or a crack, do you know how to fix it? Easy, with a pumpkin patch.
Oh no, Stein. Pumpkin jokes?
You bet, Frank. Why was the gourd so gossipy? To give them pumpkin to talk about.
Stein, I don't feel so gored after all these jokes.
Look who's getting in on the pumpkin jokes! Make sure you take a moment to slow down and enjoy the stunning overview of the Rouge National Urban Park, the largest urban park in Canada, which has a number of ghost stories itself, like that of our very own haunted mansion here on zoo grounds, Valhalla.
Built during the Great Depression by a wealthy widower, this eerie estate, with its medieval iron gates and impressive tower entrance, has found its ballrooms, overrun greenhouse, and many darkened corners vacant since the 1940s. Or so we're led to believe. The Toronto Zoo maintains this property, but it is completely closed off to the public, so unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, you can't see it for yourself.
It has, however, been used as a filming location for some popular TV shows and movies. If you've seen Hannibal, Orphan Black, or the 2018 film A Simple Favor, then you've unknowingly laid eyes upon Valhalla.
Stories have been passed between generations of Toronto Zoo staff regarding the creepy happenings at Valhalla. But what's so creepy about this building, you ask?
Well, fasten your seatbelt, Frank. We're getting into it. Some say the previous owner would pace back and forth in his second-floor study while running his company. While many skeptics have said it's nothing but an old house creaking in the night, how does that explain our security officers hearing distinct footsteps above them while patrolling the property?
How would the skeptics explain the light of a gas lantern seen coming from this same room late at night? Every time security has investigated, no light nor lantern has ever been found in the house.
To this day, we have a number of security officers who still refuse to set foot through the iron gates once night has fallen. Right across from the entrance to the Canadian Domain, we have a new seasonal exhibit, Halloween Town. This is a fun exhibit included with regular admission. Toronto Zoo staff and volunteers have decorated hay bales in fun, spooky fall themes. You can even see the legendary hay throne.
Speaking of the Canadian Domain, few guests know this, but this isolated section is actually one of the most haunted places in the entire zoo. Yes, it's true. 1 in 4 guests who venture down that hill never return.
Despite all the hay that's part of Halloween Town, we don't just use hay for decoration. Hay plays an important part in our animal nutrition as well. We tried to feed our scarecrows hay, but they were already stuffed.
Many of our animals need it as part of their diet, including the wildebeest and other grazing animals like the eland, the white and greater one-horned rhinos, the zebras, and even the Red River hogs. However, some animals might surprise you. Animals like the Aldabra tortoise, the pygmy hippos, the moose, and even our gorillas eat hay. our animals mostly eat grass hay or alfalfa hay, for which the zoo uses about 18,000 bales of hay per year.
Wow, that's a lot of hay.
But because hay can be so tough to digest, some animals, like our Watusi, have evolved special stomachs in order to break it down. Imagine a specialized 4-chambered stomach just to digest some grass.
That makes our hyenas laugh. Our spotted hyenas have jaws strong enough to break bone and stomachs made to digest the pieces as easy as we digest soup. While this might sound scary, hyenas are actually Africa's cleaner-uppers, making sure that there's nothing left to rot on the savannah.
Stein, should we tell them about the extinct species cemetery we have here at the Toronto Zoo? It's not too scary, is it?
It's not! What's scary is the undeniable role humans play in the current rate of extinction. This extinct species cemetery serves as a reminder of the great loss and permanence of extinction. Some of the species on these tombstones were hunted to extinction, like the Tasmanian tiger.
Others, like the Mount Glorious torrent frog, have gone extinct so recently that scientists haven't yet identified what the ultimate cause was. The steps we take each day can have a huge impact on slowing extinction. The zoo is home to a pack of Arctic wolves, a subspecies of the gray wolf, which can be found all over North America, Asia, and Europe.
Wait, Frank, what are other subspecies of gray wolf? What about werewolves?
We actually recognize 3 subspecies of werewolf at the Toronto Zoo. The shapeshifter, who can turn into a wolf at will. There is the wolfman, who changes into a half-man, half-wolf, normally under a full moon. Then there is the true werewolf, who uncontrollably turns into a wolf on the full moon. After roaming the forest and hunting wild game, livestock, or man.
Hey Frank, what do you call a werewolf who doesn't know they're a werewolf?
I don't know.
An unaware-wolf!
Oh gosh.
Did you know our Mayan temple ruins is the home of our resident black cat, Zambuca the Jaguar? Some people believe witches can transform into black cats and travel about doing evil things unnoticed. In fact, I think I saw one of our jaguars at a party the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think they wanted to be spotted.
Oh no, is this another joke break already?
Now, what do you do when you suddenly walk into a tiger and a jaguar?
It is.
You get in the Jaguar and drive off. What kind of car does a black cat drive? A Cadillac.
The Toronto Zoo is one of the only zoos that has a full-time wildlife nutrition department.
Does anyone know what a ghost likes to eat?
I certainly don't.
Spaghetti.
Oh.
Well, Frank, we're almost at the end of our tour.
Oh, good. We've talked about so many spooky things, I'm not sure how much more these folks can take.
But I guess that's the lesson of Halloween, isn't it? Some things might seem a bit scary, like people eating plants, werewolves, or a witch's black cat, but it's important to remember that these creatures of mythology are inspired by real animals, and those animals play important roles in our ecosystems.
Why, we all play an important role in the survival of animal species here in the world of the living. We wish you a safe and happy Halloween.